So your task in this video is to create your own personal Lego business card. This is the front of my business card. Yours has to have the Lego logo on it. It must use a Lego brick background, and it must have a minifigure of you on the front as well. On the back, it has to have some basic information such as your name, maybe the school address, and a made-up phone number. You could also add in extra things such as social media accounts. You could put in their addresses and maybe even a background image as well. Your colours throughout have to match. I'm looking for you to create strong alignment with what you're doing, and also simple font choices. To get started, you have to go onto the internet and go to Reasonably Clever and go into the Minimizer to create your own Lego character, as you can see I've done here. Once you've done this, I want you to select print screen on your keyboard and create a screen grab of it, just like you did the blockhead poster. And then you want to create a full crop of your character using the cutout studio as I showed you before. You also need to set up your page size so that it is suitable for a business card. So go to publication setup, and I want you to change it. Usually it will be A4, so you can select publication setup, and I want you to type in the width being 8.5 and the height being 5.5 and select OK. Your page will then change dramatically. It'll become much smaller and it will be a business card size. To create an extra page for the back of your business card, you select pages and then you go on the plus option here. And that will add in an extra page for you and for you to create your character on. I'm going to also take you through selecting images online. This is quite an important thing when you're creating your own graphics, that you don't create or select pixelated images. So I'm going to go onto a search engine. I quite like using Bing rather than Google. I think it gives you good image options when you search. And I'm going to type in Lego texture and search for images. When I'm on this, I want to make sure that I've got images that are large enough. So I'm going to select filter and make sure I select image size and click large or extra large. Now all of these image sizes now are really big, and that means that when I bring them into my graphic or desktop publishing, they're not going to be pixelated. So if I select this one, for example, I'll be able to click the image and it will take me to a copy of that image itself. And as you can see, this is a pretty good picture here. If I right click it and select copy, minimize it, and then paste it in. And I've got a nice large image that's going to be able to take up the full business card. Now, I want to have a quick word just now on taking images off the internet and copyright. You shouldn't be taking other people's work if you're ever going to use it for commercial purposes, like you would earn money out of creating your business cards. But because we're at school and within education, it's within British law. So if I just click here and show you this website, the government website, exceptions to copyright, we're not using it for commercial purposes, and it's within private study or it's within teaching, which I'm doing just now. And as long as you only use small things and you're not taking someone's entire book, which would be plagiarism, you are allowed to take things like images and stuff as long as we're using it within a study or education context. So that's okay for us to use images in that sense. It would be appropriate, however, especially in the future, for you to acknowledge the sources of your images. So it's very good practice to actually look at the website that you took it from and keep a note of that for the future, especially if you're taking this subject to advanced higher level, which you would definitely need to acknowledge your sources. That said, for our little business cards, we're okay just now, and we can use the images freely in this sense. Now I'm going to show you one last effect that might help you when you're making your business card, and that is editing the drop shadow that is on this person here. So if I select the character and I go to styles, I've selected drop shadow. Let's click this one here. Well, let's go back to this one. Now the drop shadow itself is fair enough, it looks quite good, but I wanted to make it a little bit more clearer that there's a shadow behind it. If I go into this top right hand corner, the word effects there, and I just hover over it, and this will fly out, and under here it says drop shadow, and there's loads of sliders in here that allows me to adjust the settings of the drop shadow. I can make it less see-through or more see-through with the opacity. Let's make it less see-through, and you can see it become darker. I can increase the blur on it and make it really blurry or less blurry. There we go, it's quite sharp looking if I pull it to this side here. I can make it more intense, this makes it darker, or less intense, makes it lighter. And I can also make it further away, so you can see here this distance one here moves the drop shadow away from the object. And finally, I can also change the angle of the position of it, so I can move it around the character here, depending where I want the drop shadow to be. Finally, if I really wanted to, I could even change the colour of it. Let's make it red. That looks awful. Put it back to black. So if you want something to really stand out with a drop shadow, there's actually a lot of options that you can do here to make it your own. Good luck with your business cards. Ask your teacher for help if you need to. Don't forget to keep things nice and simple on the back and make it your own choice. Make it fun. Add in some personal touches. Good luck.